vegana presence. Chemical compounds. Programmed by John Ferguson Aditi. Learning objectives. After learning this unit, you should be able to 1. Explain the term compound. 2. Write the formulae of simple binary compounds. 3. Write the systematic names of simple binary compounds. 4. Write word equations for some simple chemical reactions. 5. Balance simple chemical equation. Chemical compound.
What is a compound?
A compound is a substance formed from the chemical combination of two or more elements. When elements chemically combine, a compound is formed. Example: pure water is a compound made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. The fixed ratio of hydrogen to oxygen is 2:1. Each molecule of water contains two hydrogen atoms bonded to a single oxygen atom. A compound has different properties from those of the elements that combine to form the compound. For example, when iron and sulphur are chemically combined, a new substance called iron sulphide is formed. It has different properties from those of iron and sulphur. An ointment is also an example of a compound. This is because it is an oily mixture of various compounds. Magnesium reacts with oxygen to form a compound called magnesium oxide. The compound is a new pure substance that is different from the elements that reacted to form it. As magnesium burns, it reacts with oxygen and forms the compound magnesium oxide. This figure illustrates a burning magnesium. Most substances you encounter every day are compounds. Ordinary table salt is another example of compound made from two very dangerous elements. Table salt or sodium chloride consists of sodium, which reacts violently with water, and chlorine, which is poisonous. However, these elements are harmless compound with unique properties. Note: a compound has different properties from the elements that react to form it. Sodium chloride is safe to eat, and dissolves without exploding, in water. Here, we realized that sodium is a soft silvery white metal that reacts violently with water. It adds up with chlorine, a poisonous greenish-yellow gas, to form sodium chloride, or table salt, a white solid that dissolves easily in water, and is safe to eat. Salt is formed when the elements sodium and chlorine join. The properties of salt are different from the properties of sodium and chlorine. Let us look at some of these compounds and their elements from which they are formed. Water is formed from oxygen and hydrogen. Common salt, sodium chloride, is formed from sodium and chlorine. Methane is formed from carbon and hydrogen. Magnesium oxide is formed from magnesium and oxygen. Carbon dioxide is formed from carbon and oxygen. Calcium oxide is formed from calcium and oxygen. calcium chloride, is formed from calcium and chlorine. Ammonia is formed from nitrogen and hydrogen. Uses of compounds. Examples of compounds used in medicine and industry are: medicine, toothpaste, milk of magnesia, aluminium trisilicate, and cough syrup. Agriculture, fertilizers, pesticides. Industry, detergents, washing soda, paint. Formulae of some simple binary compounds. Binary compounds are made up of only two elements. Example: CO2, carbon dioxide. NaCl, sodium chloride. CO, carbon monoxide. SO2, sulphide. And H2S, hydrogen sulfate, are binary compounds. Chemists use symbols in chemical formulae as a shorthand way of writing the names of elements and compounds. The chemical formula of a compound shows the number and types of atoms of all the elements that form the compound. It describes the ratio in which the elements are combined. A subscript number after a symbol shows the number of atoms of the element in the formula unit of the compound. If there is only one atom of an element in the unit, the subscript is omitted. The absence of a subscript indicates one atom in the formula unit. Example: the formula H2O shows that a molecule of water is made up of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Similarly, NH3 shows that a molecule of this compound is made up of one atom of nitrogen and three atoms of hydrogen. Note: the number of atoms in the molecule of a compound depends on the valencies of the elements that form the compound. Writing the chemical formulae of binary compounds, using the exchange of valencies method. In this method, the chemical symbols of the elements of the compound are written, and then their valencies interchanged in the form of subscripts. The following steps can be used in writing the formula of a compound. 1. The symbols of the elements or radicals involved are written. 2. The valencies of the elements or radicals are indicated. 3. The valencies are then interchanged and written as subscripts. Note: 1. If the valencies are the same for the elements or radicals involved, the valencies are omitted from the chemical formula of the compound. Example: Ca2O2 is written as CaO. 2. If the valencies are not the same for the elements or radicals involved, we divide the valencies by a common factor. Example: C2O4 is written as CO2. The following examples illustrate the steps explained earlier. 1. Carbon dioxide. The chemical symbol of carbon is C. The chemical symbol of oxygen atom is O. Carbon has a valency of 4, and oxygen has a valency of 2. By interchanging the valencies, the chemical formula of the compound is C2O4. Dividing the valencies by 2 gives us CO2.